Hi, I'm Rob Cosman. Welcome to my shop in Grand Bay, New Brunswick, Canada. We get lots of questions about shooting boards, so I'm going to cover one particular topic that gets asked quite a bit. First of all, the equipment. I use a 5.5, which is what I think is the best plane for the shooting board. You want to make sure the blade is sharp, obviously, and you want sides to be square to the sole. Now, to get this ready to go, I have to have that blade parallel to the sole in order to get a square cut on the board. So I sight down there, and the blade appears to be parallel. If it isn't, I'd make my adjustment with the lateral adjustment lever. Covered that in other videos. Make sure this is nice and clean. Don't want it to be tipping because of some dirt. I use my grip. We make these to fit everybody's plane. Makes it so much more comfortable and a lot more control. So the question is asked, why do I pull this out and cut a little chamfer up here? I'll show you. First, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't do that. First, I want my straight edge against my fence. This is what I'm referencing from. So I'm going to square either end off of this. If I don't do something here first, and I just start planing across the end, the first thing that happens is you end up getting broken fibers like that. How do you fix that? Well, now you got to take a bunch of material off there or off of here. There's an easy way to avoid it. Before you start planing, flip the board over, pull it out from the fence right here a little bit, and back here I'm going to cut a little chamfer and then flip it back over. Again, I'm putting my reference edge against the fence. Now when I put that in there, you can see how I have a little gap right here, and that's going to protect me from breaking those fibers out. So as I start to plane, I can go until that little gap almost disappears. And you got to be careful, because if you go past it, then it's not going to work. Stop just before, and you don't have any tears there. Now, you need a good shooting board. You can make your own. We've done videos on it, or we make them, and you can buy one from us. Either way, here's what I like to have in it. A rabbet cut right here. And that little rabbet or rebate runs below the blade on the plane so that your plane is never cutting into your shooting board. And the other thing is a little less obvious. Anytime you glue two pieces together, you create a stress line, and it causes the wood to move. And usually it cups like this. Well, because of the way a plane is made, wide here, narrow here, narrow here, if it ends up sitting on a cup board, it's going to rest here and here, and the result is that it has a tendency to tip out like this. Now you no longer have a square setup. So we purposely glue ours up over a slight mold to give it a little bit of a crown like that. Now it's resting on the wide spot, and it stays nice and square. Put your grip on there and plane away. This is the best way to improve the accuracy of your work. Sharp plane, accurate shooting board, good woodworking.